So today we're going to be doing some special effects makeup, and my husband has volunteered. So I will try my best to film this so you can see. So we're going to be doing some SFX makeup, and the first thing we're going to need is glue and someone's face to put it on. I'll just test it out, head back. Stop moving your eyebrows. This part doesn't have to be neat because it's going to be a cut, so. And you're going to have to wait for that to dry. So we're going to use a hair dryer. So we have got the glue to dry. You can kind of see it's hardened up a little bit. So the next thing that you need to do is you can either get tweezers or a knife. I'm going to use these little tweezers, hopefully, and undo them. It's not dry. Oh no, because it's not dry. So you have to wait a little bit longer because you can see it's just going to drag all the glue off that we're waiting for it to dry. So okay, so now the glue is dry. This is where you're going to make like the cut or the scar or whatever it is that you're trying to do. So take some tweezers and just drag what you want the cut to be. Try to separate the glue so that you don't lose the 3D effect. So it's a bit wet still, that's okay. Alright, so you're going to be left with something like this, and you're going to want to put foundation on the dried glue, not in the middle. Take that back, we're going to put red down here. Just using this fake blood from a pack just to go through the cup. Wow, that's very red. Now this is the part you're going to want to put foundation or it's going to look weird. And whatever colour foundation, he's darker than I am, so it's kind of pale, but this is what I'm using. Alright, let's put your head back. Right. Again, this doesn't have to be neat. You're going to be going over it with browns and blacks and more red. So, in fact, I'm using a brush that's probably already got some brown on. So we'll see. You just don't want it to look like glue. That's really all you're doing. Drag it out. Don't get the red that you put on. Depending on how patient you are, you can colour the foundation in first and then just do the red in the middle. I was tired of waiting. Just drag it out so it doesn't look too obvious that it's covered in foundation. Okay, so that's what something you should look like. Possibly better skin match if you have a good foundation that matches the skin tone of yourself or whoever you're doing this on. But that is not the case. Next thing you want to do is put some powder. I'm doing it to kind of darken it. Put your head down a little bit. So just, again, doesn't have to be neat, just so it's not too shiny. And so that foundation can not slip and slide all over his face. Now I'm just going to go back in with some more fake blood to try and neaten it up a little bit. I was also trying to darken it, but this is a very orange coloured blood. Now you can cover all this area with browns, blacks, reds, and try and make it look a bit more realistic. I'm actually using a paintbrush for this to try and make it easier. This is where I'm going to get a bigger brush and just kind of for the outer area. And we're going to take brown this time. And a black. That's good. Maybe I'll spray it. This is what we have. The lighting in here is terrible. So I'm just gonna spray it with some fake spray blood and see what that looks like. But this is overall what we've got. Nice shot. Oh, okay. Oh my, it's not very spray-like, is it? Alright, for the scar, I just sprayed the blood. It kind of squirts out, so if you're going to do it for someone near their eyes, make sure their eyes are shut. And then we're going to do a small little bullet hole somewhere on his face, probably here. So, you're going to need cotton, just normal cotton, and you're going to have to make it into kind of a ball. So it's best to roll it and then spin it into or rip it. That works. Spin it into a bullet hole shape and then glue it on the face. I'll do this one. So you're going to need glue. Yeah. So. Hardest part is trying to get it in place. So pick a side and just try and drag the glue onto the face. This isn't going well. Kind of got dry a bit. And we don't want it covering that cut we just did. So we're not going to cover that. Okay, so this is the shape we're going for. It looks a lot bigger, but you kind of just want the glue to dry. You can use the hairdryer again, but it's the cotton wool that takes the longest, so you're just going to wait till this is dry. So now that the gunshot wound has dried, you're going to want to put foundation all over the cotton and probably a little bit out just to cover the remaining glue areas. Going back in with the same pale foundation. This time I'm just going to use a sponge so I know it's not going to like drag the cotton wool where I don't want it to be. So it's going to cover some of the black that we did for the cut, but that's okay, we'll go over it. Okay, and I'm going to use a small little brush to get the inside bits. So is just put a little blob like that, kind of around, and then just to cover the remaining white bits of the cotton. This next part, we're just going to kind of make it easier to see. That foundation in there has not dried, but just so I can see kind of where we need to go. So as best as I can, inside, like that. And then you can let it drip down here. There. Now we have the bit coming down. You can see the cotton wool. I'm just going to drag it down. Like that. And then we're going to do the rest and we'll spray it again. So. Oh, one thing I did forget to mention, you do need to powder it. Makes it easier. Look at that. And then some black. The area that's going to be red is going to be close to the wound. I've got to put more blood in the wound shot. I'm going to fill in this bit with some blood. And be careful because it stains your hands, so we're going to spray it one more time with the spray. So let that dry because I want there to be some blood in the cut. No, I want that top bit to be more like natural. Spread out. There we go. That's good. This is the look we have. We're going to go into different lighting so as you can see, there's the cut and the gunshot. It's hard to see but it's dark outside, so thanks for watching.